He knows what it's like to come from a working class family, so he knows what it's like you and I. Donald Trump probably never went grocery shopping in his life, let alone probably drive a car or anything like that. The man sits on a golden toilet seat. So he has no idea, like common people. He can't even fathom that.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
This is Ashley with Status Coup News. John Farina and I are on the ground in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where, as you can see, we have been covering Bernie Sanders' Fight the Oligarchy tour, which is again in Harrisburg. Bernie Sanders has been holding these rally stops essentially all across the country, doing what he does best, talking about everything that working people deserve and fighting the oligarchy and the class war waged against the working class. Tonight was no different, and clearly this message has been resonating with a lot of people. Again, there were 5,000 people here. All of these, a lot of these rallies have been drawing crowds in the tens of thousands. So
we want to take America back. We want to make America. America already is great, and our president's view is take America back 100 years, make America a prejudiced country like it used to be. The man has no morals. He's a convicted sex offender, and he should be in jail. He shouldn't be on the stage. He's nothing more than a talk show actor, and it's time we take America back. We need our country. We're losing democracy. Anybody that doesn't think that we have freedoms in this country needs to go to a third world country and see what Donald Trump wants our country to be. We need to take our country back. Vote all of them out of office. Vote people that are for the people in this country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what brought you out here tonight?
All just to support all the Democrats and everybody to get our country back to the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I never thought I'd see this day that this country would be the way it is because of one man and all his clowns. It's just wrong. We need to take it back, and we will.
Absolutely. And I guess I've been asking a lot of people the same question, and I'm going to ask it of you guys too. A lot of what we've talked about tonight, a lot of what the speaker spoke about tonight was, the many ways in which working people in this country are struggling to get by. Did that message resonate with you guys? How are you and your loved ones, your family doing in this moment?
Well, I've always been a strong believer in work hard and you can succeed. And nowhere else in the world can you achieve your goals like in the United States of America. We have a wonderful country here, and I never thought that we would be facing somebody like we have right now, and that was put in office that mainly because of social media and how biased it is. People believe they believe everything they see, and that's Donald Trump was on a fake program, The Apprentice. That was all a stage thing. He never had the value that he always pretended to have, and people in this country really need to wise up and put their opinions aside and save democracy before we lose it. And I'm thankful for Bernie to stand up for Americans. He knows what it's like to come from a working class family, so he knows what it's like you and I. Donald Trump probably never went grocery shopping in his life, let alone probably drive a car or anything like that. The man sits on a golden toilet seat. So he has no idea, like common people. He can't even fathom that. We can't fathom being a billionaire. He can't fathom being like we are, working class people.
Absolutely, and he gets to dictate how the working class people live, and we don't get to dictate how the billionaires live.
Dictate, because that's what the man is a dictator. Yeah, he bows down to Putin. He bows down to the dictator. He idolizes the dictators of the world, And the people that are friends, he's trying to make our enemies. But people around the world are smarter than what he thinks. They know. They don't hate Americans, they hate him. Because of what he's trying to do with all our friends and allies. So
I didn't know what to expect. And to see an 80-year-old man saying what he's saying is just amazing.
With the energy that he's saying it with, too, I might add.
Absolutely. He's an amazing man. So mostly it was just to pep up my energy because the news every day is so depressing, I mean, clearly the people in charge are moving towards, fascism. There's no doubt in my mind. My dad was in the war, was a Purple Heart recipient, and he fought fascism, and to see it come back in my lifetime, particularly now that I'm in my 70s, is just so upsetting. So I come to this to get inspired.
I appreciate that. And I guess I would ask, a lot of what we talked about tonight, or a lot of what the speaker spoke about tonight, was the many, many ways in which working people are suffering in this moment. And as a working person, I would ask, how are you and your loved ones faring in this moment? Was that something that brought you out?
My parents were immigrants, and so their goal was to educate me. So we're doing fine. But I work with the mentally ill, and they're not doing well. The average income that my patients earn is like $700 a month. There is no way to live on that. And now they're threatening to take that away. They're threatening to take their medical assistance away. So the people I work with are the ones that I'm more worried about. I will be fine because I'm a physician, but they are not.
Busted my ass my whole life to get where I'm at. I'm retired now, so is my twin brother. We're both pipe fitters. And it's just a shame because our retirement's going to go and everything else. And so, next year we'll be getting Social Security, and I'm hoping it's still there. The harder we fight for it, the more we're going to keep it. We need to get that, out of office and put all the Dems back in there so we get Congress back, take our country back. That's where we deserve to be.
Absolutely. And I guess I would ask, a follow-up to both of you, as far as getting the Democrats back in office. Do you think that the Democrats are doing enough right now to meet this moment? I guess I would also add, we have gotten to this place with both Democrats and Republicans in office. So, I would say not defending Republicans for sure.
Well,
but
yeah, the problem is our country's so divided because of Donald Trump. He spews hate. He anybody that is against him or what he thinks is against him, he runs it over and over and over again that they're the enemy. They think every Democrat is the enemy. I used to be a Republican. I consider myself a conservative Democrat. I switched parties because the Republican Party isn't what it used to be. And anybody that thinks that is they're out in left field. Right now, the Republican Party is just for wealthy people. They're not for the working class. They're out for themselves, and that's it, pretty much it. So.
Absolutely. And did you recently switch party affiliation?
A few years back, probably. I want to say, it's quite a few years back when Ronald Reagan ran. I just I couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take what he wanted to. The Republicans stole out of Social Security. They said, we're going to borrow out of it and pay it back. They never paid it back. A lot of people don't even know that. They borrowed during the Reagan administration. They stole money out of Social Security to help their pet peeve projects, and they never paid it back. So, that's the start of a decline in a system. I paid all my life into that. I think I'm entitled to that money. I am entitled to that money. I worked hard for that money. Not to give it away to somebody that already has money that, that so.
I appreciate all of that. And I guess I hear some thunder, so I would just ask, do you guys have any final thoughts that you'd want to share with Status Coup viewers before I let you escape the impending rain?
Kick the clown show out of office and put some good people back in.
And President Trump We are not going to allow you to create an authoritarian society here in America. But it is not just arresting people without due process and putting them in detention centers. Trump, again, in an unprecedented way, is suing media for the crime of running stories he doesn't like.
I think it's really important that everyone remember that due process is so important in this country, and I brought my son here because he needs to see that that's important, and that it's really hard for a lot of people in this country. They're struggling a lot, and I think that there's a lot of blame on the wrong people. So I think that we need to work together and talk about these things that are hard, but that I really like the message of the union representatives about, like, you know, we are the ones that build America, the people that work. So we're talking about the trades, like, you know, the teachers, everyone. And that's important. And that's what, you know, that's what it's about.
Absolutely. And I guess I would ask, you know, all of this is happening under the banner of fighting the oligarchy. So what does fighting the oligarchy mean to you? What would you like to see people doing so that we can, you know, fight for working people and the things that working people deserve?
Well, I mean, I think the money, the big money in the elections is a problem because these representatives, there's not really pressure on them, some of them, to really fight for the people. If they've got just a small percentage of people that have a lot of money that can vote for them. So that's, you know, unfortunately, until that big money gets out, I'm not really sure. But regular everyday people have to just, you know, come together and, you know, and that's it, I guess.
Absolutely. And I guess I just, as a final question, I would ask, I've asked a lot of people today and talked to them just about their lives. And again, we're talking about working people suffering. How are you and your family doing? I've spoken again to other people who have told me about being laid off recently and all that kind of stuff. And I think that, you know, beyond a lot of the things that we're talking about, like fighting for democracy, which is, we should be doing that, there is this underlying, you know, kind of story of people feeling like they're suffering now and they've been suffering. And, you know, this is a way to kind of look for ways to alleviate that. So I guess, again, I would just ask, how are you and your family doing? And is there something like that comes to mind for you?
Well, we're really lucky. I do have health insurance, but it's really hard with the deductibles. And so, like, every appointment, every specialist. So there's a lot of money then that can't be saved for other things, for emergencies. And that's important because I think for my son's generation, you know, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'd like to be able to help my children when they're older. And we're just like, we don't want to be a burden on him, you know. So, like, no money left over for emergencies, no money, you know, for saving for the future. And that's, you know, that's pretty scary, actually.
So he decided to sue CBS and 60 Minutes for billions of dollars, and they are thinking of reaching some kind of settlement. And they want to reach this settlement because they are in the process, the family that owns Paramount, that owns CBS, is in the process of trying to sell Paramount to some other company. And in the process, they would make several $1 billion. So I say to that Redstone family, do not sell out democracy for $1 billion.